Good evening. Welcome to the show. Let me make an announcement that Alex Gordon, number 4 with the Kansas City Royals, has retired. He played his final game today. The Royals won 3-1 against the Detroit Tigers. The Royals won the series. That series won 3 out of 4 games against the Tigers, and and now let's go ahead and thank my partner channels, MGM Family Travel, Rachel Loves Disney, Teresa, and Carolyn Life, and also thank Dean with the Live Place, theliveplace.com, where you can go see what's streaming on YouTube.
Yeah, just added the RV community, so we have a whole.
Whoops, sorry about that.
No worries.
That was a mistake. I was trying to click off the share screen. But there was also another thing I was going to Okay, Caitlin, tell us about your channel, show, anything else pertaining to your stream and vlogs.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey everyone, I'm Caitlin from Make It Blue, a Disney Adventure, and my channel is all about Disney, and I'm also sharing my life of what I was like to be a cast member and a Disney College Program participant, as well as living life disabled, sharing people how a disability doesn't hold you back, and it just gets you to the next. It just takes you a little bit more steps to get to your final destination. So sharing people with how being disabled and being a cast member truly means to someone like myself, things that Disney has done for me, and I am starting to stream in the parks, and definitely I do my show every Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on my channel, Make It Blue at Disney Adventure. I also sometimes go live on my Instagram, which is Make It Blue at Disney Adventure with underscores under each one in between words. And on Twitter, I usually share some of my favorite creators and what their streams are coming up in the line. So yeah.
Okay. Going to show your website here. So.
Yeah. So my stream. I'm a fairly new channel. I've had this channel for a long time, but I wanted to relaunch it with new content based with Disney. I started up my channel about 5 or 6 years ago with sports stacking, which is a different part of the community. But primarily, this channel is going to be mostly Disney content. My last live stream last Friday was about my favorite restaurants on Walt Disney World property, especially since I'm a picky eater. And Walt Disney World restaurants, they're always fun because it takes you into another world. So that's fun. I had a lot of fun doing that stream, and I got a lot of feedback actually from that one. So I'm pretty excited about that. Next week's stream, I'm thinking about doing something about each park until my trip coming up in October. So I'm thinking about doing a stream in each park. What are my to-dos? What are my must-dos in each park? And some things that are a complete no that most people don't really know about. Maybe controversial, but in my world, it can be hit or miss.
What is your favorite shops in Walt Disney World?
You say in a specific park or just everywhere?
Everywhere.
One of my favorites has always been my home over my home at Disney Springs, Marketplace Co-op and Pin Traders, and Trendy have always been fun stores to work at, and they're really fun stores overall, really fun themed, and the merch selection is pretty unique. Sometimes you don't get them very far. Disney Style in Disney Springs I've really enjoyed. That's a fairly new shop. They've only been around for about a year and a half or so now. I've really enjoyed that shop. And then my favorite, I think like the most unique overall would be in Epcot. It's in the Japan Pavilion. It's Mitsukoshi, and it's a third-party operator shop. But it's really cool. You can get chopsticks, you can get kimonos. I get the fans from there. That's a must on every trip for me now. So yeah, that's what I personally like.
What is your favorite Disney cast member memory?
Well, oh gosh, cast member memories, there's a ton of them. So I'll strictly keep it to just being a cast member. I think my favorite moment was when I got my name tag for the first time. And unfortunately, I can't really share much about that day with you guys, just because it's kept a Disney secret behind the scenes. However, that moment where you get your name tag for the first time, and you walk into Magic Kingdom Park as an official cast member, walking into the park and getting to put your skills that you're learning in class into fruition is pretty cool. And seeing how that translates from being a guest to how it works as a cast member pretty much all day. So it's a really fun experience. Traditions is probably one of the most magical days I've ever had. But otherwise, everything else is kind of, all of my cast member life I've enjoyed. There's a few negatives, but the positive definitely outweighs the negative.
Let's welcome in Jeffrey Resendez.
Hello, Jeffrey. Nice to see you.
Hey, Jeffrey. How are you doing? Okay. Who is your favorite Disney character?
So with favorite Disney characters, I always do one princess and one regular character, because for princesses, it's kind of easy to choose as your favorite character. So my favorite princess as of lately is Mulan. Mulan has always been a pretty good inspiration for myself. She was even though her legend her story in the animated version is not identical to her legend story that, in Chinese culture is given. However, in the movie, she sounded out as an underdog and always were seeming to be held back because of something. And I really resonated with that. So Mulan's one of my favorites. I remember dressing up for her for Halloween several times. And then my favorite overall Disney character would have to be, it's a mix between Mickey as my Fab Five favorite. Mickey's the classic. Mickey's where you see everyone recognizes Disney from. And he's kind of sort of my boss, which is pretty cool. And in terms of like a Pixar or an animated series, Jessie has been a real deep connection for myself. Jessie from Toy Story, she's pretty cool. And I love that she has that caring heart to work for the animals, but at the same time, she knows what she wants and she's not afraid to ask for it.
What is your favorite Disney food?
Well, okay, since I've been in quarantine, it's hard to get Disney food, obviously, where I am in North Carolina. I've been enjoying the Mickey ice cream sandwiches that you can get in the grocery stores now. You can get, I think there's Star Wars ones, and then they have the Mickey Mouse ice cream bars with cookies and cream, and then they have the Mickey bars. I've been really enjoying the ice cream sandwiches here at home. But at Disney, I really enjoy a Dole Whip. I'm not against a Dole Whip these days. And also the frozen lemonade from the carts, the ice cream carts. They have frozen lemonade cups that are from Minute Maid. Really refreshing, awesome on a summer day.
Okay. How would you plan your Walt Disney World trip?
So for myself, it depends on how who's coming with me, what time of the year we're planning it. Because obviously, when you plan a Disney vacation, you're going to be planning it on what your dates are. So usually, what I do is I go on Undercover Tourist or Tourist Plans and look at the crowd calendar. It usually helps, especially during holiday time. If I ever am going there, it's a great place to check out and make sure that you're going to the correct park at the correct day. And it's been fairly accurate. I've used it for the last, 3 or 4 trips now. And I've been doing pretty well with getting into crowds that I can handle. And especially during Christmas time, you can't really avoid it. So finding what's the least crowded of the days that you're there is always helpful. Obviously, it's not going to be 100% accurate because it's based on the years previous. but it's a good resource. And then I always book as soon as I know the dates, because I know things change all the time, especially right now with COVID precautions in place. You have to book your tickets and get your park passes made so that way you can be able to get into the park. And then my next thing would always be dining. Dining, you can always do 180 days before your vacation starts, and your fast passes, even though they're not doing it right now, fast passes are available 60 days from when you, or I'm sorry, 90 days, 90 days from your arrival date. And then I usually find hotels at the same time as I book my trip. And then for flights, I usually book flights closer to the date as possible, just because it's cheaper. Or I book with an airline that has no change, or that you can ask for a refund, like say Southwest. If they find a cheaper flight, they'll give you credit for it. So I do things like that to make planning a Disney trip easy. And plus, I've been to Disney parks several times, so I know what I like and dislike. So I know what days are fun for Disney Springs days and what days that are just want to relax at the hotel. Just depends on your itinerary of your trip. You'll be doing a lot more in 10 days, right, than you would be doing in like a 3 or 4 day getaway weekend, right? So that's how I plan a Disney trip. It's based on the days and how you spend it.
Let's welcome in Mike Wheeler. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike. Thanks for listening.
Anyway, Caitlin, do you have any do's and don'ts when it comes to planning Walt Disney World vacation?
Do's or don'ts. If you're a first-time visitor and don't know much about Disney, like if you are very clueless about how to book a Disney vacation, like especially if you don't know where you want to stay, I always recommend calling the reservation line, using Disney's phone service and talking to a cast member on the phone. A lot of them are extremely experienced with booking guests all the time, whether they have gone 50 times or whether they're going for the first time. So, and their personal experience, they'll give personal recommendations sometimes as well. So it gives you an insight. It helps you book everything at once. When we were first going, we would always book our dining reservations on the phone. It was really easy so that we could do all of our reservations all at once. Now that we've gone a lot of times, we can just do it online now. But I highly recommend doing your phone, going through the phone line your first time, just because it's a lot easier, and they'll include everything that you may want to know. And please don't yell at the cast members on the phone. If you have a phone interaction or you are talking to a cast member in person and you have a mistake in your travel plans, please don't blame it on the cast members that you are interacting with. A lot of times, especially right now, technical abilities through the internet and stuff, obviously there can be some issues, but always remember that it may not be the cast member's fault, and remember that they almost get yelled at on a daily basis. So one less person yelling at them would be great.
Try to go with the flow.
Exactly. Just enjoy what you can. And I don't go into Disney with expectations. And with somebody I feel like my family does the same. Like, we expect it to go certain places, but we don't expect it to be like empty level crowds, right? We go in with what we know, but we also just don't put any expectations. And sometimes the days where you don't have any plans is where the magic truly happens. Because then you just hang out. Sometimes I spent the day just people watching, and it was so much fun.
What is your favorite Walt Disney World ride or rides?
Okay, so rides are always difficult for me. They have changed as of recently because of changes in the parks. But as of right now, my favorite in Walt Disney World is the Tomorrowland Transit Authority. Is pretty much my favorite on property right now. I've really enjoyed that. It's a childhood favorite, and it's a place that's pretty sensory friendly. For the most part, pretty quiet, except for the carts. But obviously, hopefully, after the refurbishment, that shouldn't be as loud anymore. But I really enjoyed that. Dislikes for me are anything with heights. So Skyliner is a big no for me. And then Tower of Terror, even though I can ride it once, but I can't ride it multiple times. And then Rock and Roller Coaster is actually the only attraction I am not allowed to ride, and that's because of my hearing loss. And multiple audiologists have told me that's not a really good idea to ride.
Okay. What is your favorite part of being a Disney cast member?
I think making the magic is the best part about being a cast member. When you are a guest, you always see these magical moments being made in front of you, right? And you are in the parks and you see these magical moments happen right before your eyes. But to be a part of that and to create those memories that a family will remember for their lifetime, is pretty unique and really special. Um, and for me, I love the unity that my cast location has had ever since this thing has started. Since my college program, we've been so united and so strong. Talk to each other pretty much all the time. So the unity in the community of cast members also is pretty cool because it's a unique little club to be in. Like not many people will say, "Oh, I was a Walt Disney World cast member." So I think that camaraderie and that being in a community that everyone understands, it's pretty cool.
Which park is your favorite?
Out of all four parks, Epcot has to be my favorite, and that's because it's pretty. We've always had a connection with Epcot. We loved soaring over California when it was there, soaring over California, and we also had what was the other one? They also had Living with the Land. That is a family favorite of ours. That's probably my second favorite attraction out of the entire Walt Disney World parks. Right now, it is my favorite because TTA is down. But yeah, Epcot seems to be my favorite. Our least favorite out of all of us, I think, especially after they took away a lot of the stuff in Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios is like our park that we could do again, but it depends. But we enjoy Epcot the most.
Welcome in Don Bone.
Hi, Don.
Um, I was going to ask you about you like any of the shows on Disney Channel, or at least the DCOM movies that they had
Are you asking about recently or just overall?
overall?
Yeah, so Disney Channel, I've grown up on Disney Channel. Who hasn't? So I usually watched. I was a big fan of Playhouse Disney back in the day. Really enjoyed that. There's actually a petition going around to bring Bear in the Big Blue House on Disney Plus, and I'm all for that. So that was one of my favorites growing up. And then Disney Channel, I loved a lot of shows on Disney Channel. Hannah Montana, of course, is pretty iconic. I've been watching the Big Hero 6 animated series on Disney XD. That's been fantastic. I've really enjoyed that. And DCOMs, I'm a huge fan of DCOM movies. I think the High School Musical is at the top of mine, but Descendants was fantastic, all three of them. Anything that Kenny Ortega has directed has been pretty popular on Disney Channel for a long time. That would be Hocus Pocus. Descendants, all three Descendants movies, and all three High School Musical movies. So he's been in pretty big projects that have done really well. I mean, he's been well, but
I like those movies too, and as well as Adventures in Babysitting.
I haven't seen that one yet. That's on my to-do list.
And Upside Down Magic.
Yeah, that one just came out.
Yeah.
I've been pretty extremely busy at work, so I haven't been
And
catching
I
up. I
also
watched the Candace Against the Universe, the new Phineas and Ferb movie, and that was fantastic. It was really cute. I really enjoyed that.
I also like Teen Beach Movie as well.
Oh, Teen Beach Movie was great. Yeah, both. The second one was more confusing to me than the original, but I do like both. They were pretty good.
And Wizard of Waverly Place, the movie.
Yeah, I actually liked the original series better than the movies they've done. Except for the end, and I can't remember I don't remember if it was an episode or if it was like a special, but the last episode they filmed was the wizard competition, right, between the brothers and sisters. And I don't remember if it ended up being a movie or it just been like an episode, like a special on the series, but I can't remember. But I enjoyed the series of Wizards of Waverly Place better than the movies, just because the movies didn't correlate with the storyline that well, and it just kind of make it really random.
It originally on that last one on Wizard of Waverly Place, that final episode, it originally aired within a 1 hour time slot on Disney Channel. and then when they repeated it in two 30-minute time slots.
Yeah, I remember them premiering in an hour, but I think in the future they did it in 2 parts, which makes sense because it was weird.
And then Alex got to get the family wizard because Justin decided to be honest and told Professor Crumb, tell Professor Crumb that, or that one guy that was the host of it,
Yeah.
that Alex helped him out of a stuck situation on the way to the finish line, and then Professor Crumb decided to retire as the headmaster of WizTech and to give the job to Justin by
Right.
giving him power too.
Right. Yeah. I enjoyed the series.
So the only one that ended up losing the power was Max.
But he wasn't too angry because he was getting the family sub shop.
Right. So he got that for not being a family wizard. And let's see. Which cartoons do you like of the Disney?
Cartoons. Steamboat Willie always sticks out to me. Steamboat Willie is obviously the one that many people known for. On my to-do list is actually the first Mickey short, and I can't. The name is blanking on me right now. But the first short that Mickey was actually there, and it was before Steamboat Willie, and I can't remember the name of the cartoon, but it's right there, but I can't think of it. I really enjoyed the new Mickey Mouse shorts that they've done on Disney Channel as of recently. Those have been fantastic. Really enjoyed those. And then I like the Pixar Spark shorts that have been on Disney Plus. There have been like original shorts that they would have shown in movies, but they make it for Disney Plus. Loop was absolutely phenomenal as somebody who was nonverbal, being autistic as a female. Seeing Loop and seeing a nonverbal female's take on a Disney Pixar film or Spark short meant a lot. And they really did a good job with making sure the perspective of the child, the perspective of the other child that was, able-bodied or was completely, quote unquote, medically normal, seeing both sides and seeing how they can come together. I mean, I think that was absolutely beautiful. Now
Welcome back, Dawn.
Welcome back.
Well, we still have about 37 minutes. Anybody in the chat want to ask Caitlin a question?
Yeah, I'm here to answer all the questions. Apologize if you hear background noise, by the way. My mom is watching football, so I apologize.
Oh, okay. But since the viewers missed my announcement, number 4, Alex Gordon of the Kansas City Royals has retired. He has played his last game of his career. The Royals beat Detroit 3-1, and Alex Gordon has been a Royals in his entire 14-year career with Major League Baseball.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is rare.
Somebody who's on one team and retires on that team. Pretty cool.
And there's when I go in 3 years to Disney with my cousin. Well, we're going to do Disney before Universal.
Right.
Well, we're going to our check-in date will probably be the 5th of June. That way, we have 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th full days in the 4 parks, and then the 10th, my 61st birthday, will be the checkout day of Walt Disney World and the check-in day in Universal, and then 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. I'll be doing the Harry Potter. We'll mainly do Harry Potter.
Right. Yeah, I don't have very much experience with Universal. Universal, I had a lot of issues with as a kid. Very overstimulated park for myself, and I think I had quite a bit of issues, and I think that half of the problem was last time we were at Universal Orlando was right after the King Kong ride went on fire. It was literally like maybe 5 or 6 days after that happened. So you can totally tell, like I was on the studio tram, and you could totally tell that I was having an issue with that. That studio tram went right over the King Kong attraction. You could see it from where the tram route was. You just saw nothing but smoke, or just like smoke remnants of the fire, burnt down trees, simple things like that.
When I seen live streams, there it looks like most of their rides are highly intense rides.
Yeah, they are.
Doctors recommend that people that has that are on high blood pressure medicine not to ride those rides.
Yeah, for something like myself, I remember riding The Simpsons when that came out. And that was out on our trip. The last trip we went to Universal, and I didn't hate it, but it wasn't my favorite either. Oh, that was Universal Hollywood. Yes, Mike, you're right. I was there in LA. That's right. I can't remember because each one has a King Kong right now. So yeah, now that you say that, Mike, it was in LA, because I remember that because we went to Disneyland a few days earlier, and that was probably a really cool trip because I enjoyed Disneyland and I wish I'd go back.
Dawn has a question. Caitlin, you have a Disney trip planned soon. What are you most looking forward to?
What a question. For me, I think what I'm looking most forward to is just being in the magic again. And I say this on every trip because once you're a cast member, you know the magic that's there. And even if you're visiting as a guest, you still have a chance to talk with old cast and family. And that's what I look forward to every trip, is talking to some of my cast family and saying hello and making sure everything's good at our homes. And some of them are in different parts of the company now. One of my leaders is actually a leader over at Typhoon Lagoon as a food and beverage leader. Unfortunately, she is furloughed until next March, especially since they just announced the dates. So I'm hoping they'll be able to go back in March. But a lot of my cast members are back to work. They've been back to work since like March, since they were able to reopen Disney Springs. So that's been really nice to see. So yeah, talking to my cast family is what I'm most looking forward to. And meeting some people.
Mike Wheeler said that was Universal Hollywood, not Orlando, with the fire.
Yeah, now that he said that, it's totally 100% what I was not thinking correctly. But I was there in LA. Now that that came up, it was in LA because we were in Disneyland a couple of days later, and I don't know why I associated Universal Orlando with Disneyland, but it did. I don't know why. Not 100% today, so I think my brain is confused. But yeah, we were in LA because I remember because The Simpsons just came out on LA because Orlando opened it first, and then the Simpsons ride opened in LA, more towards our trip date than what Orlando did. So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it was in LA now that I think about it, because we spent half the trip in Disneyland and half the trip at Universal, but then we cut the days after figuring out the fire. That's right, Mike. Yeah. Okay. Like, yeah, that makes sense now. Thank you. I don't know. Maybe it's because I just watched Rob's King Kong, and that's maybe in my head. I don't know. But yes, it was definitely in LA. Definitely in LA. It's been a long week, guys.
that Hollywood fire that Universal had. The way I heard it, the train station that Clint Eastwood had built for his Western show that they ended up using in Back to the Future Part 3, that burned down. Plus the 1885 Hill Valley.
Right. Yeah. I'm not sure about history with Universal. Unfortunately, I'm not really familiar with it. However, uh, I just remember that trip being too much. And I told my mom that. I was like, this is too much. Like, she could tell on my face that I was having some issues. So I think we were supposed to originally be there for a few days, but we just ended up being there for a day, I believe, from what I remember. So yeah. Yeah, so the mummy rides were called King Kong this year. Okay.
I quit playing the Disney Magic Kingdom game when I got kind of frustrated about that last issue that they had with the where it wouldn't allow you to rewards. It was a glitch that they had.
What do you mean?
I would click on and watch the ad to get the reward. They would not issue.
Oh, yeah. Got it. Okay, I was confused. I thought you said something totally different. I apologize.
Yeah, but I do play the Disney Collect by Tops, like Go Whip Dad does.
I haven't done that yet, and I'm looking into that. But for me, it's like an everyday thing. When I work retail, you just want to work on what you're right in front of. But yeah.
Mike said where Mummy is currently at is the old Kong attraction here.
Okay, so Mummy's where King Kong is there. Did they replace the area, Mike, of King Kong with another attraction in LA? I can't remember if they replaced anything or not with that. But I knew about the new King Kong ride in Islands of Adventure, but I don't remember if they replaced anything with the old attraction, and I could be wrong here, but I just don't remember them saying they were going to replace it with something. And I don't know if it's just me who can't think. Obviously, I don't have enough knowledge. My family went to Universal on our last trip. They allowed me to go to Disney because they knew that probably would have caused issues and I would have been miserable. So they're like, go enjoy the parks. Like, go to a park, or you can just hang at Disney Springs. You can do either one. It's up to you. So I haven't done Universal in years.
And I was going to say, Disney is more of a family oriented, and Universal is, most of its rides that has more of the intense rides than Disney does. That's because Universal those rides in Universal is more for like upper teens and adults that's not on blood pressure medicine.
Right. Yeah. It's different. Universal is definitely a different play on it. I enjoy Disney more than Universal, but to each its own. I know people who love both Universal and Disney. I'm just strictly a Disney person. However, I really enjoyed SeaWorld. SeaWorld Orlando, I really enjoyed that. Very sensory friendly park, actually. They just adopted an autism friendly sensory guide that they've come out with recently, I believe. It was either that or Aquatica, but I can't remember. But oh no, is it Busch Gardens? Pretty sure it's Busch Gardens now that I think about it, because I know Busch Gardens came out with like a fully, it's their first theme park that's fully autism sensory friendly, giving parents all the information they can. And I hope something like that for Disney will come back because the accessibility maps have changed a little bit to where they don't have the descriptions of what kind of ride it is. Like if it's a dark ride or if it's something with flashing lights or something, something simple is simple triggering. But yeah. Yeah, Mike, yeah, I would agree with Mike. Yeah, there's not as many thrilling rides at Universal and Islands of Adventure altogether. But I think like the more of the appeal of Universal is gonna be more on the side of of those main attractions that people know. And Harry Potter, and I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. So I don't really mind not going, Just found out recently I'm a Hufflepuff, that's all I know.
I'm planning on getting I'm hoping on maybe getting me a one of those GoPro like cameras, one that's a 4K 170-degree wide angle.
Nice.
And get the accessories like I can be able to wear on the body or wear on my head. And those two attachments got a waterproof casing to put the camera in, and which is ideal for like riding on Splash Mountain.
Right, yeah. I don't even know if we're gonna ride Splash Mountain on our trip, and the reason why is because we're not huge water fan rides in our family. We enjoy the theming of Splash Mountain. We really enjoy. But I don't think we're gonna be riding that. We would be riding on Transit Authority, and it was gonna open November 1st, but they just extended it recently to like November 28th, which is unfortunate. So CTA won't be open on our trip, which is unfortunate. Really was hoping we would be able to ride that, but yet again, that TTA has not had a refurbishment in quite some time, and yeah. Yes, Mike, go and answer the question, and we come back, let us know how we answered, because I will be calling in too as soon as I get off here.
Yeah, see you soon, Mike.
Yeah, right now, Pete McDevitt's Off the Wall episodes, they start at 7:30 now. So so it's been on for about 7 minutes. So they probably just opened phone lines up.
Yeah. Which resort hotels you like on Disney?
Well, usually we stay at value or moderate resorts. We've never stayed at deluxe resorts before. Obviously we've always wanted to, but just the affordability is not ideal. We really enjoy Pop Century as a family. We really enjoy those resorts. All-Star Movies we have really started to really like. And All-Star Music we've stayed at a couple times and we really enjoyed. I think our favorite that we stayed at is Port Orleans Riverside. We think that resort is gorgeous and really underrated. Awesome pool. They have it right in the middle of the resort, so it's accessible to everyone who's on the resort. And then the preferred bus stops is actually the preferred rooms by the bus stops have actually been fantastic. The last time we went there was on my senior graduation trip. And it was actually a pretty close walk because we had somebody who never gone to Disney before. So we always got a preferred room on the first trip, knowing that they didn't know how much walking you would do. And you kind of underestimate how much you walk in Disney. Usually you walk like 5, 6 to 7 miles a day in the parks. And sometimes you just don't notice it until you look at your Apple Watch or you look on your phone on your health app and you see how many steps you took. You're like, whoa, that's a lot of steps.
Yeah. When I go, I'll be like using my phone for mainly the map and also the pedometer to keep track of my steps.
Yeah, you do a lot of steps. I do recommend the first time to get good walking shoes. Don't get new shoes also because they have to be broken in.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that before.
Yeah. I've had guests who've had that issue of being like, why is how do you as cast members not have sore feet? I said we do have sore feet, but usually we don't get sore feet until like hour 10 of working because you're so used to walking. And unfortunately for us merchandise, we always have to stand. Majority of our shift, we usually don't be moving around too much unless if you're in a big location. World of Disney is a good example of that. World of Disney, you have to move around. It's such a big space, and you can imagine probably how much they have stored in the back room in their stock room to get that entire store filled. So that's one where you could move around, but like my shops were fairly small, so you just transition from station to station or from one store to another. You weren't walking like all the time.
It seems
However,
like
I did have to task where I had to go and get a wheelchair from West Side from Marketplace on a 90-degree day with my long khakis and my pin trader shirt, and that was fun.
yeah.
But then my leader gave me a 20-minute break. He's like, "I'm sorry, I had to put you out in the heat. I'm giving you a break right now." I'm like, "Cool."
Yeah. It seems like at least some of the store, if not all of them, has little baskets that you can shop with.
Yeah, I believe we do. Marketplace Co-op did have them, but I think they changed it. They can't do that anymore just because most of it is like a lot of it's artwork and homeware. And obviously people don't want to be carrying that in those and then drop the basket and then they shatter, you know.
Okay.
But I do know Pin Traders does, but I don't think Marketplace Co-op did. From what I remember, yeah, I don't remember them doing it in my stores. I know they did it for Trendy, but that's the only Trendy and Pin Traders is only coming to me. They could have had them in Marketplace Co-op, and I am just spacing on it, but I'm not 100%.
I guess it's pretty much better idea that like with me and having my cousin, her daughter, and her daughter's friend on the trip. Probably have the four of us where I can still use the camera to video record, and then or I can video record with that GoPro type, and then since I'm wearing, and then the four of us can, if I buy quite a bit, be able to hold on to take up to the checkout.
Yeah, if you're staying on Disney property, one of the most underrated things that I tell guests all the time that they don't even know exist is delivery to the hotels. Now, with COVID-19, I'm not sure if they're doing that right now. I'm pretty sure they're not doing it right now. But when they do go back into operation, there is a way that you can get merchandise sent to your room. Basically, you just fill out a form that gives you your information in case if something gets lost. Like, for example, if it goes to the wrong hotel and you're already checked out, they'll be able to ship it to your house. But they'll give you like your room number and stuff from where you're staying at, and they'll ask you for who's going to pick it up. And then usually within like 2 or 3 days, it'll arrive at your resort guest shop. So usually we ordered, usually we did a lot of our shopping when we were really little on my first day in the parks. And then we would ship them to the hotel. We'd keep them in the hotel until we checked out. Saved a lot of hassle for us as kids too, because you didn't have to carry those all day in the park. And then you could also do front of park pickup. So you could do that the same day. So you would have, if you shopped in one park and you're staying in your park all day and you don't want to carry the shopping bags, you can have them sent to guest relations in the front of the park, or there's like a designated pickup spot for them, and you just pick it up there. And then you can take it back to your car at the end of your day, which I think is really great. It's underused.
You just have them scan your Magic Band or your
It'll be linked when you pay for it. You'll just ask them, "Hey, I'm doing resort pickup," and they'll usually know what to do from there. They'll have a ship to fill out, and then right now you can still do ship to home. So whenever I have a guest who has artwork or something that you want to get shipped to your house, you can ship it international too. So if you're international guests, you can also get it shipped to your house. Obviously, international is going to take a lot longer than US. And I have done it several times myself. A lot of times with my artwork that I like bringing, I like to make sure it stays nice and neat. So my cast friends always pack it really great for me, so that way I have my artwork stay great on the way home. So I always ship to my house sometimes too. And it's the same process. You just ask them, "Hey, I need to ship this to my house." And then they'll fill it out, and then you pay based on price of how you paid for, your items that you want to ship home. It's like a dollar amount, and that's how much you pay. Between a certain dollar amount, you pay that for shipping, which is great because sometimes it's cheaper than actually getting it shipped from the postal office. So that's good.
Yeah, you can have like your fragiles shipped to your home instead of risk having it getting damaged on flight when you fly back.
Right, yeah. I think the only thing that you can't do is snow globes, I'm pretty sure, because I know they've had issues with that. But we use a material called Giami. It's basically it's like honeycomb, but it's recycled cardboard. Um, and they've done this in tests before using just tissue paper, and it actually did really well. They sent like a couple of glass items through international shipping to the other side of the world, and nothing got broke. So they decided to keep using that. It's like a thick honeycomb almost, and it's underneath a layer of tissue. So obviously, it's still going to make sure there's nothing scratches, but it's going to allow you to have insulation in it. So yeah, I recommend people getting fragile scent all the time,
I
especially
think
in the parks. From Shop Disney, that's a different story.
I think the closest Disney store to me is I think it's in either Overland Park or Olathe, Kansas. Those two are in Kansas, but they're in the Kansas City area.
Yeah, my closest Disney store is in Charlotte.
Yeah. And well, do you have Disney Plus?
I do have Disney Plus. I got it as soon as it came out last November. It actually relapses at the end of November, which means I have to go and pay for it now. I got it free for a year because I was a Verizon customer. So that's a shame. Now I have to pay.
It's like $7 a month or $70 a year. You get 12 months for the price of 10 months.
I think I'm actually going to be subscribing to the bundle that they have. So it's for Disney Plus, Hulu, which has a couple of series I've been really wanting to watch lately, and ESPN Plus. I love watching college volleyball. So I feel like having ESPN Plus is going to really help with watching my college volleyball because a lot of times they don't air it, on regular ESPN.
I think that bundle was kind of like around $13 a month, but I
Which I
don't
think
know
is fantastic for 3 services, $13 a month.
what's that.
Think three. I like the value that you're getting for $13.99. I think 3 services for that much is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So, but if I get Disney Plus, my mom will probably only approve just the Disney Plus, not the bundle.
Yeah, I personally I work, so I can use the money that I earn from my job to pay for that.
You know, and
Then I can cancel Netflix finally.
yeah, right now, Disney Plus is getting more popular than Netflix.
Yeah, it is. Well, I think a lot of the series that were on Netflix is transferring over to Disney just because of the contracts and how Netflix signs with Disney on those. So a lot of like just Once Upon a Time just got added to Disney Plus not so long ago, and some of the Disney movies have been transferred. And people are like, "Where has this been?" I'm like, "It's been on Netflix." And I said, "Netflix they have to finish their contracts before it gets put on Disney Plus." So even some Hulu series, I believe those are staying. I believe anything that's under Hulu, since they're owned by Disney now, I think they're going to be staying on their platform, but they might move to Disney Plus. Who knows? But I know that they're adding stuff, the last bit of stuff from HBO Max and Netflix. So I think there's only like 10 or 11 left that still have to be transferred.
Yeah, Disney Plus is very beneficial to Disney fans because that way you have unlimited access to all the Disney movies, shows, DComs, and and you don't have to be buying discs to try to fill up your apartment or your house with.
Yeah, I do think that Blu-ray, as much as I love Blu-ray and DVD sets, I do think those are going to go away with Disney Plus. I do think they're going to try to stick to having releases on Disney Plus. However, Premiere Access with Mulan did not do very well. So, and Mulan overall live action did not do very well. So I don't know if they're going to continue to having those paid releases like Mulan did. Um, However, I think they should have lowered the price if it was like $12.99 to rent. I think that would have made more sense than $30. Like for me, it wasn't worth it to pay $30 because just me watching, who pays $30 to watch a movie, you know?
Yeah, usually
If you're a family of four, it makes sense.
usually streaming services like Google, YouTube, YouTube is also a streaming service too.
Yeah, YouTube TV. Yep, and YouTube Red.
They would charge like about $3 for rental, and then I think like about $19 or $20 to buy.
Yeah, if it was $19-$20, I wouldn't have been as upset. But yeah, $30 for a premiere access to a movie, I think, is a little much. Not my favorite. It's not, and Mulan's actually one of my favorite princesses, so I still have not been able to see it. But it's releasing to regular Disney Plus members in December, and I'll just wait until December to watch it.
And $19-$20 to buy would be about the price of a good Disney DVD. But I think Blu-ray would be pretty much closer to $25-$30 to buy, and
Right.
and 4K would be pretty much about $40 to $50 to buy.
Yeah, definitely.
But just think about when they start putting the movies in 8K.
Oh,
But there's no 8K players, and there's no 8K TVs right now. Well, there may be some 8K TVs that the wealthy's probably got right now. The wealthy people do.
right. Yeah, I don't.
Because the previous year, the Super Bowl before the Chiefs Super Bowl, CBS did a Super Bowl coverage in 8K.
Nice.
But if you have a 4K TV, that 8K show is going to show up as a 4K.
Right.
And if you have just a 1080p, it's going to just show up as 1080p. And if you have 720p, it'll just show up 720p.
Yeah, it's like YouTube for me. You know, it goes based on how well your auto connection is. I have a small Vizio TV in here that doesn't. I think it shoots 1080. But I'm okay with it. Like, I'm not into getting the latest and greatest. Like, if it's a good quality and the TV's good built and it'll last me a long time, I'd rather have that than have the best, the newest, latest and greatest, and it could, not work within the next 2 years, or it may not be interesting in 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
my living room TV is a 4K smart TV by Samsung.
yeah.
And my computer, I just recently, a while back, watched Josh's 8K 360 to where you can use the mouse to scroll around and look in all 360-degree angle, plus above and below. And my computer will, with VSDC, will convert to 4K, so I can actually watch and record 4K and just watch 8K.
Right.
And that VSDC there was one 4K setting I was putting in putting my replays in, and I found out that was a 360-degree angle on 4K that I was editing in. So it makes things look weird when you
Yeah, on
scroll.
camera. Yeah.
But
I only film here on my laptop actually. That's what I film on. And I'll be filming on probably either my iPhone that I'm currently using or an iPhone 8 that I still have. Really excited to film in the parks. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. Share with some of my local favorite places. Because you sometimes had to eat on a budget or knowing how to navigate a Publix. I know how to navigate a Publix pretty well now.
yeah,
Because I used Publix. I did not go into Walmart because me and Walmart was busy every single time you would go. So
yeah. This show will have an audio podcast version as soon as it's available for me to download. And
okay,
then, I'll make sections of the podcast into flash briefings.
cool. Sounds good.
Yeah. There's, we have about 4 minutes left, but we can go ahead and wrap it up. Anything going on this week?
Yeah, so I'm in the process currently right now of making a huge mail vlog. I've had things that I've acquired for the past couple months using my good friend Arizona Dream. If you guys want some good Disney stickers, make sure you guys go check out Arizona Dream, a good friend of mine. She's launching her YouTube channel soon, so as soon as I get a date on her next stream, I will totally let you guys all know. Make sure you guys follow me on my social media, Instagram, Twitter, and I'm also on TikTok as well. Make sure you guys follow me there. And also, if you guys have any questions about being a cast member or being a CM, you guys can always message me on my social media. I'll be happy to help. And I can also be making a video if you'd like. If you have video ideas, just let me know. College program is up in the air right now because they are not operating right now. So we also have a bit of a rumor going around in the Disney college program space about housing maybe going away, and we're not sure about that, but we're figuring it out as we go. So I'm hoping that, and then I'm hoping Friday stream will be our Tokyo Parks 101 series. I know people have been really asking for it, and I'm just making sure my guest is fully available for that time slot. But as soon as I get an update about what my Friday stream will be, I will certainly let you guys all know on social media. So just stay up to date on my social media. Helps a lot with my channel.
I want to thank all those who watched tonight live, and those who's going to watch on the replay, and those who's watching in ninja mode. And I want to thank my Blue Crew mods and do you have a closing phrase?
Yes, I do. So my closing phrase is, as cast members once say, have a magical day, and I will see you guys in the next stream or video.
Have a magical evening and a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Have a magical night.